Hey Clashers, the Warden charges are in my opinion the future of Clash of Clans, and especially during those events they are even stronger. The reason for that is quite simple. We have troops like Butcher and Hog Wizards which are amazing to support anything what you're doing with your Warden. Equipment wise you're quite flexible as well. You can combine the Earthquake Boots with both of those epic equipments. You can combine both of the epic equipments with the Vamp Stash. You can go with the Rage Vial, with the Gauntlet. Go with whatever you have upgraded. The same thing goes for the Archer Queen. Invisibility Vial, Giant Arrow, Frozen Arrow, Healer Puppet, Magic Mirror are all amazing equipments for this strategy. Warden on the other side, the most important thing here is the Rage Aura. The Fireball itself is just a time aspect at the end of the day. I will show you that in the attacks itself. But if you have it on level 27, one Earthquake is enough to take down most of the defenses. If you have it on level 20 or a little bit higher, 2 Earthquakes will deal the job as well. But don't worry, I will show you how you can use it if you have it on even lower level in the video. For the Royal Champ, since you're sending her in alone, the shield and the spear is, I think, the best combination. But the haste and the Hot Rider Puppet will do the job as fine, in my opinion, as well. But I think the easiest way to really show you the true potential of the strategy is to just show you some attacks where we're not only swagging the Siege Machine a lot of times, but as well the Fireball to prove that you don't need it on the max level. With this strategy, the first thing you should take a look at is a nice place for your Warden to charge. Remember here, you're not looking for an early Fireball, you just want to take down an area of the base and then later on use the Fireball. For this one, it's not even that important about the value. Yes, that's always really satisfying to see half the base gone. I think we might be able to take a look at maybe the core or something like that. That would be quite cool. But the most important thing really with this strategy is that the Warden is just staying alive. That is the bread and butter of this strategy. So let's just try and accomplish that. The reason why this is so important is pretty simple. Because instead of doing a Queen charge, you're doing a Warden charge. This currently in the meta is just way stronger, way more, I don't know, reliable. And it's just way better, because a Queen charge you have to funnel, you have to do a lot of things to really make sure that that Queen charge is working, while for example with, well, a Warden charge you just have to make sure that the Warden is keep moving forward. At this point the Warden at any point should transition from the Angry Jelly into the regular form, so it should attack the Town Hall any second now. We're having a classic anti-Lalo Clan Castle here. The Angry Jelly has popped off, so that's completely fine. Town Hall is there. Let's just freeze this to keep the healers alive, which is otherwise quite annoying. Let's just use one more test loon, and then we're good to go for the Warden to move on and get our Fireball into the core. That's at least in the end our final goal, and that's something we're looking for. The next step here then is to keep your Warden obviously alive, no big surprise, but use your heroes on the other side of the base, because you do not want to have the King and the Queen luring the Warden into your main push, okay? That's really important. So let's just do that. So far, so good. We can rage up the Warden in just a second again if we want to. Actually, let's just turn this invisible. And now the Fireball. We can use the King ability at the same time. We have gotten a lot already in that core down, which is amazing for us. And we still have so much left in our army capacity, right? Like, that looks amazing. Next thing for us, keep the Warden alive. That's pretty much the non-stop job for you, because the Warden is not having that many hit points. Next thing, Royal Champ can take down that compartment. Should be great for us. Let's do some cleanup minions. Queen eventually will circle back there. And then we can use some Butchers already for the outside troops. Let's just get this in here. Rage this up, freeze this. Do some headhunters for the defending Queen. And we're good to go for a nice 3-star. I mean, at this point, the base is already gone. We have a ton of spells still left. Let's just put them somewhere, because why not? We have troops still left. Let's just put them somewhere, because why not? And this base is just completely gone without even ever deploying the Siege Machine. We have still the Queen ability. We have another Invis. This base is just gone. Warden charges right now are insane. But I know not everyone has the Fireball maxed out. For those who want to utilize the Fireball still to take down buildings, just use 2 Earthquakes if you have a level 20 or a little bit higher, but you need level 20 for that. For the next attack though, we will try to not use the Fireball, because I'm trying to prove a point here. The equipment of the Warden does 2 things, and that is first, the passive DPS increase of the Warden, which is turning him into a beast. The Fireball here is just mainly to make sure that you're not time failing. Yes, it's great to take down a lot of buildings, but it's more importantly just to deal a lot of damage in really short amount of time to make sure that time at the end of the day in your attack is not the issue. So in the next attack, we're using the passive damage boost of the fireball, but not the active ability. So again, it's all about the charge itself, not about the fireball, what you're looking for. With this strategy though, you're doing pretty much a classic queen charge, but instead of having the queen, you're doing the warden charge. So you have the classic, still the same, to be honest, approaches and targets as you would do with a queen charge. Town Hall, Eagle, key defenses in general, all the same for your priority list. So let's just do that. For us, we're going for the Town Hall. That's always a high priority, so let's just do that. Warden right here, we can use one test stone to see that if there's any traps whatsoever, and deploy this. As well, like already funnel the Warden a little bit in the right direction, and that Single Inferno Tower has to obviously go down quite quickly, but that should be no problem because we can really nicely push that Warden in there. I will use one Invis because I just want to make sure that my Warden is not dying. I still bring the Earthquake because, as I said, I want to deploy the Earthquake in places where there is a lot of high hit point defenses. And there is not for the Fireball, it's more about like making sure that the Warden is having to go through less defense in general. Because, as I said, time is for sure a big factor for this strategy. Now some minions behind to make sure that the troops, or my Warden specifically, does not have to backtrack. Then obviously getting the Warden further into the Town Hall. And we can already start on the opposite side, my King and Queen push. So let's just do that. I can use the Siege Barracks this time around. That's the cool thing with the strategy as well. You have so many options for your Siege machines. You can go with the Flame Flinger, you can go with the Blimp, you can go with the Siege Barrack, which I would do in this attack. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Now the Earthquake right here to make sure it's damaging pretty much everything. Let's raise this up. And now let's concentrate on the opposite side. Skeleton, King, Queen. We're using the Siege Barrack with the Valkyrie in front. We can already use some Hog Wizards. Just like that, Clan Castle's coming out, so let's just poison that. Again, you have to have that multitasking to make sure your Warden stays alive. That is the most important thing with this strategy. Keep your Warden alive at all costs. So far, this looks promising, right? Like, this looks for sure possible. We have still 2 rages for that to really make sure that he's staying alive. Queen can use her ability. Let's rage her up. Warden, let's just turn that invisible. We have now the Yetis and everything getting out of that clan castle. The Eagle, though, is still firing, and that's not good for us whatsoever. So let's just use... Oh, that Tesla farm just popped up. Just use to get that Eagle. That would be quite nice. Let's do some cleanup here. Warden, again, let's rage him up so he's staying alive. And it's not going to activate the Warden ability by accident because that's not what I'm looking forward to. We can freeze this as this is splash damage. We can use some back-end minions to speed things up. The Warden is, I think, now going over to the rest, which is still fine. But this is just going to be like this here with the freeze. Come on. We can use the Baby Dragon right here. Is the Royal Champ going to be turned invisible? No, it's not, but it's fine. Let's just use the remaining Barchers, the Loon, the minions from this side, the Headhunters. And this is really what I try to showcase to you. The Fireball is only here for the time. We're still going to 3-star power-wise, but the Fireball would have speed things up a little bit further, so time would have been less the factor in this attack. We're going to finish the attack with a 3-star, but it's going to be really close on time. So as I said, the Fireball is not about making sure that, well, taking down every single key defense in the base. That's obviously satisfying like in the first attack. That's for sure great. But what you're looking for is most of the time high hit point buildings because that is speeding up the attack. Even storages are fine to hit with the Fireball because this means you have to invest less time for the Warden itself to attack those. So the Fireball here is just a, well, time increaser for the Warden to deal a lot of damage in a really short amount of time. So that for now was kind of like the proof or showcase that the Fireball is even usable on a lower level, which is working as well. But how do you use this strategy if you're making sure that you're not swagging the Fireball, swagging the Siege machines as I did in the first attack? How does this strategy look like when you're using everything for the attack as optimally as possible? As I already said earlier, the cool thing really is that you have so many options with the Siege machine. But one Siege which I like the most out of all of them is the Flame Flinger. Because with this strategy, you have just so many different tools to set it up to success. So that's something I'm going to try on this one. So the Warden charge, I feel like from the far left side might be great because we can take down a big part with our Fireball and a lot of buildings, as I said earlier, with high hit points. Let's just do that. Warden from here. Now Testoon and the healers right behind. We can go next. I think the best option here is to go with from the bottom side with that Flame Flinger. I think, let's just see, like this. There should be no traps. And then we can still take down the Inferno Tower a little bit later. As well, as I said earlier, make sure that you're deploying some minions to speed things up. If the effect... Ooh, I was hoping that I would take the Wizard Tower up first, but that's okay. No problem, no stress. We have the time, so we can use the Fireball, I think, right now. Just like that, Fireball. Taking down the Queen as well. A lot of hit points have went down with that. And things look already great. Now some Archers at the top side to funnel everything. We're trying to get the Warden eventually towards the Town Hall as well. Let's now try to use that Hog Wizard to actually lure... Oh, come on. I want to have that King coming out. That's the thing. I want to have the King getting here. Oh, that's not what I was looking for, because now the Clan Cast is getting here as well. Okay, whatever. Okay, the Siege Machine is gone. That was not the optimal use case, but it's fine. Let's just use the poison, some Headhunters here, and we're still doing completely fine. Now the King and Queen from the top side, because, well, we want to have the Eagle out. That's always a high priority. We were not able to get that with our specific approach with the Warden, but that's completely alright. Let's just funnel them in with the Barters. We can use the Wall Break. We can distract the Monolith as soon as my heroes are getting closer to that. King ability you can use, as I said in the intro, you can use the Spiky Ball as well if you're looking for damage. But I've seen a lot of people saying, hey, like, I always have to use this or that equipment. I just want to show that a lot of different equipments can work, especially on the King. He has a ton of great equipments to use. So let's just use that Queen ability. Actually, we can just try to force the Queen even further inside. Warden following now. We have to make sure that he's staying alive. Queen is in there as well in the mix. Let's use that ability with that Invis. Nice. Now, ooh, Warden. Okay, Warden is down, but that's fine because we have just so many other things to use. We have nearly all of the Hawk Wizards still left alive, which is kind of crazy. And since I have said I don't swag in this one, I would just deploy them. We can deploy them as cleanup as well with the Barchers. And this is just going to be completely wrecked with this attack. Let's just put the freezers somewhere and pretend we have not swagged them. So, yeah. Give this strategy a try if you want to. Remember, you do not need the maxed out Warden. The maxed out Fireball. It's all about the passive DPS increase. And if you are lucky enough to have the Fireball on level 27, use 1 Earthquake. If you have it on level 20 and higher, use 2 Earthquakes. You can just replace one of the freezers if you want to, and you will have great success with this strategy. It's not the easiest, don't get me wrong, but it's something which you can learn, and I think Warden charges in general is going to be the future of Clash of Clans because it's just easier than Queen charges, and as long as you have the multitasking, you're going to be fine. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.